So from our left to our right, into the faces of the cars, into the front of the cars as they're heading down towards turn 1, to the point where again the water from the fountain isn't coming majestically out and spreading down over the top like a fondue. It's all heading off to one side a little bit at the moment, and it is slightly less elegant than it should be. But we have got a little bit of weak sunshine again now, so don't like the weather. Wait just a couple of minutes. Jeremy Shaw is with us as we bring together sound and vision for this session, with IMSA TV coming live very shortly, if they haven't come up already. In fact, yes, they have just come up already. The situation of Belle Isle, well named. It is a beautiful island, just a short bridge over from a little bit further south from downtown Detroit into what is a public park area. North from downtown Detroit.
Northeast-ish.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really weird here. Geography is difficult, with Canada being effectively to our south, and it's certainly very unusual, John, to have the weather coming in effectively now from our north.
It's normally south or southwest,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's
from
really
here.
weird all the way around. But we've seen these thunder showers that have been basically mainly slightly to our west, and because it's blowing from north to south, the clouds have missed us for the most part. Just been a few little drops of rain, but more particularly there was some lightning strikes within a certain radius, whatever it's 10 miles or whatever it is, about, or maybe an hour or so ago. That's why track activities were suspended for a while, and unfortunately right at the end of the previous session here out on track, someone's hit the wall over there next to turn 4, I think it was, so that cleanup has taken rather longer than it should do. Otherwise we were looking fairly good, but this is certainly going to put a crimp on the proceedings.
I think we just have to do a very quick turnaround. Let's go to Shea Adam, our Continental Side pit lane reporter, to give us a rundown of what she can tell us. Sun now shining and glinting off the water of the Detroit River and of the man-made water features here on Belle Isle, and here are some, at least, of the qualifying drivers. Shea, what do you have?
I will try to walk down and get as many as I can, John, but the most intriguing one that I've seen so far, the most unexpected, Brian Sellers, the guy who got pole here a couple years ago. He has been given the driving duties for the number 48, the only Lamborghini in the field, so that will be entertaining for the Paul Miller crew. We have Catherine Legg behind the wheel of the 86. And who is that? Oh, it's Justin Marks is driving the number 93 Acura. So pretty fair split between them, honestly. Either of them could be on pole. For the number 33, the Riley Technologies Mercedes, it is Ben Keating piloting that machine, and Kenny Habul in the number 75 Mercedes. In the 63, the Scuderia Corse Ferrari, that is none other than Cooper McNeil. As we have already heard from Kyle Marcelli, it is Dominic Baumann in that Lexus, the number 14, and in the 15, it's either going to be David Hennemeyer Hansen or Jack Hawksworth. And as I get closer to the bright red Lexus, I can tell you it is David. So David driving. He will be getting on a plane and flying over to France after the race here, because he's sharing a car with Ricky Taylor and Colm Ladogar in the LMP2 category, so pretty exciting for him. There's quite a sizable gap before the next car, John, so I'll hand it back to you before I can get back down to them, and then I'll report back again.
Wind gusty down the front straight, so from turn 1 heading back over, it's an interesting little left-right flick at the end of the front straight. Quite heavy braking, got to get the car across to the inside. Change of surface with some patches down there, and then turn 2 very quick indeed. We're on hold for track cleanup after a Trans Am car went into the wall and comprehensively destroyed the front end of the car, also left some of its component parts and fluids in a very tricky area of the circuit, and the track services and the local fire department helping out here in getting rid of the nasty stuff that is on the concrete. It was a sizable hit coming out of turn 4, hit drivers left, and then came to a halt dead stick, and with bits of the engine visible that we wouldn't really like to see. Some of the component parts in there as well, and it's had to be washed away and brushed away from there, so it will be a little bit tricky to start with. Last 3 starting drivers in GT Daytona, should I say, qualifying drivers. Shea Adam has this Continental tyre update.
For the number 96, the Turner Motorsports BMW, it is Robbie Foley getting qualifying duties, so no Bill Oberlin in that car, but Robbie is more than capable of doing the job. The number 58, Wright Motorsport Porsche, Christina Nielsen. Watch out, she's really good at this track, and she loves it. 3 podiums in the last 3 years. And the number 16, the other Wright Motorsport car. Well, John, you and I saw Wolf Hensler running in between these sessions, not because he was late for a meeting, but because he clearly wanted a bit more exercise. He is not qualifying D16 Porsche. That will be Mike Shine given those duties. And we are missing one of our GTD cars. That is the number 44 Magnus Audi. They have a little bit of engine work to do, John, and I'll let you elaborate on that.
Well, I'm going to fire that straight to Mr. Jeremy Shaw. That car, you talked to Andy Lally and the team, that car was the car that had the fiery moment, wasn't it? That we didn't really understand what had happened. What happened was fairly catastrophic and possibly one of the biggest failures we've ever seen on any manufacturer, particularly Audi.
Yeah, it really was a massive internal failure on the engine as he came out of the last couple of corners. And initially Andy thought it was a tyre failure because all of a sudden the car started vibrating. Then within a few seconds he realised that there was some flames licking around, and he realised where the cause of the problem was. So moved the car initially moved it to the right hand side of the racetrack because he thought he'd maybe bring it in at the end of the pit lane, but then he realized that when they saw the flames he needed to get across to the outside of the racetrack. Well, there's some other traffic going past, but he managed to negotiate that and bring the car to a halt right over there by turn 1, and the corner workers were on the thing pretty quickly, but by then the fire had already taken hold a little bit, and it's quite a lot of damage there, but it was a catastrophic. It virtually cut the engine in half. So I don't think we'll be seeing that car this afternoon, but some extra bits are being brought across from the Audi Customer Sport base, which is quite literally on the Ohio-Indiana border, about 3 or 4 hours drive away from here. And that should be here, not sure whether by now, but certainly in time to have that car back out in the warm-up tomorrow morning. But we did not expect to see that car in qualifying. And the number 16 Porsche, Michael Shine, as Shay was just saying, going to be qualifying that Wright Motorsports car. That also was involved in an incident during a very incident-packed second practice session earlier on this afternoon. Michael Shine went off at turn 8, one of the left-handers around the fountainette section of the track. Just his mistake, caught the right front of that car. Some fairly major damage to the right front corner, so they took the corner completely off the car, replaced it. That car is indeed ready to go for this qualifying session. I think we're going to have time to get it underway.
I'm hearing a couple of minutes until the cars are released. There's still quite a lot of people down in that turn 4-5 area, so they must be fairly confident that they can get that sorted out.
They're going to need to, because as I say, we're supposed to be finishing at 6 o'clock, and these are supposed to be 15-minute sessions, and there was going to be a 10-minute gap between the two of them, but I think that gap will now be erased, and you might even see the sessions shortened perhaps by 2 or 3 minutes each for GTD and the prototypes, which will follow.
Excuse me. Well, engines have fired, says Shea. Adam Shea, give us an update. The sun's come out here. How is it in pit lane?
The sun is shining. The Iris specs are on. The blue ones today. We'll go for the orange tomorrow. And we have 2 Lexuses who have fired their engines. I can't tell if anyone else further up the pit lane has. The Ferrari is definitely running. There's smoke out the exhaust. Green flag. We are going qualifying.
Well, perfect timing. It is just after 30:30, so we're going to have to really hustle to get this in before the top of the hour. 6 o'clock is the curfew here, and the cars are off and running. Apologies for not having any car noise for you, not being fed to us from trackside at the moment, and you will hear the cars as they come past us. Already a race breaking out at the front of the field.
Yeah, and
jockeying for position.
Yeah, make sure they get some opportunity to get some clear laps in here. We expect the times to come down as the session goes on. They certainly won't be, the fast times won't be set within the first couple of laps, I wouldn't imagine. And the possibility remains with only 28 minutes to go until 29 minutes, I guess, until the curfew is supposed to be called here. With 2 15-minute sessions in 29 minutes, that doesn't quite work, does it? So
they can green flag the prototypes as they check and flag the other session. We've seen that happen in other series before.
Yeah, but they're still
pretty close.
Not going to quite get the full 15.
Well, in fact, they didn't have 15 on the track. They only had had 12.
There we go. Right.
I'm guessing it's been reduced to 12 minutes.
That's what I thought might happen. So I think that's an excellent call by IMSA. Been relayed to teams, not to us unfortunately, but it would have been relayed to the team, so they will know exactly how long there is to go. And we can now see it on our timing monitor as well.
Yeah, 12-minute session, so we've just got enough time. There goes Brian Sellers, who's qualifying that 48 car. He's followed through by the Acura. It's Robbie Foley, I think, going through, and Catherine Legg is. No, it's Catherine that went through first, and Catherine's got a couple of AMG GTs right behind her as she goes through turn 2. But Brian Sellers has got clear track and he's making the best of it. He's not trying to warm up the Continental tyres as the 3 cars behind him are. He's just arrow straight down towards turn number 3 and trying to get the heat in the tyres the old-fashioned way by going quickly round the corners. Under 10 minutes to go. Live on IMSA Radio from trackside. IMSA Radio and IMSA TV together. Hopefully you're getting the sound on the stream. I hear there may be problems on that. Rest assured, I'm sure that our technical boards are doing everything they can. We are feeding the commentary to the TV truck, but it may not be getting out to the outside world. So I suppose many of you will be combining both in the old-fashioned way there as well. So let's see who comes through then. It'll be Brian Sellers who comes through first. He's on the far side of the circuit to us at the moment, on the river side, if you will, as he breaks down through turn 12 and into the insanely quick 13, right out to the wall. Now if we lean forward, here he comes and heads across the line. And this is the first quick lap from Sellers, 1:34.919, and that sets the pace here.
Yeah, and the good news for Brian Sellers also is he has clear track, nobody around him at all, in front or behind. He got himself out at the front of the pack, and he's now going to have clear track. I don't think he's going to catch anybody else either within the next eight minutes or so of the session, which would be around about 5 laps or so. He's got to get his times away and see if he can get another pole position here on the raceway at Belle Isle. He had a pole here a couple of years ago. Would love to do so again as the championship leader as well for Paul Miller Racing. This car has been super consistent in the races so far this season. Of course, the GTD cars were not at Long Beach, so they've had just the 3 races so far this season. One race behind the prototype category. But it's certainly been a good season, good start to the season for Paul Miller Racing, and Brian Sellers has every intention of keeping that going.
Brian Sellers still with no cars ahead of him as he goes around the fountain, and it's almost like single car qualifying for Brian at the moment, and he's making the most of it as he comes out and just misses the edge of the tyre barrier as he comes out of that section through 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 through there. 12 and 13 brings him off the shoreline and then back towards us and across the line to complete another lap as he goes underneath the Chevrolet bridge, and quicker again. Yes, a 31.2 needs to be under the 30. I think it's got to be 90 seconds, sub 90 seconds to be safe, but he's got a clear track ahead of him, Jeremy. I think he's done this brilliantly well. He's not hitting the curbs, he's taking it very easily, and he's just building it up and getting heat and temperature into those Continental tyres. Meantime, the 63 of Cooper McNeil goes to the top, the Ferrari, with 1:31.1. Sellers second now, just in marks in the 93 Acura. The red car in third position.
and they're all in the 31, so is Ben Keating in the Mercedes. I'm intrigued to see whose tactics works the best. There goes the blue Lexus past us to cross the line now, and into second for Dominic Baumann. So Baumann into second position.
Really good first flying lap there for Cooper McNeil. I must say 1:31.1. That's only about a tenth of a second or so slower than less than that than he had been in the earlier session today. Actually, first practice one, he said his best time at the wheel on that number 63 Ferrari. So out of the box, really strong here. But now Brian Sellers on his next lap, he's dipped well below the 32nd mark for the first sector. Brian Sellers comes across the line now to go fastest at 1:30.126. Brian Sellers in car number 48, then to the top of the chance. Catherine Legg
Second.
Yeah, just less than a couple of tenths behind.
Fastest in the middle sector, that Acura Catherine Legg driving at the moment, effectively on a race-to-race basis. In fact, just on a race basis, because she doesn't know what's happening next time out.
Well,
second in the championship.
Next time, because she will be at Watkins Glen. That is part of the Tequila Patron North American Endurance Championship. That was always the plan for number 86 car to contest all 4 rounds: Daytona, Sebring, Watkins Glen and Petit Le Mans.
Second in the overall championship, though, Catherine Legg at the moment, and only 8 points behind Brian Sellers and Madison Snow in that Lamborghini Huracan from Paul Miller Racing.
And she, of course, won the race here last year, along in the Acura, along with Andy Lally at that stage. So she is looking for another strong run here. She's currently third because Dominic Baumann has just slipped in between the first and third place cars in the number 14 Lexus. 1:30.170 for Dominic Baumann. That is one of the drivers who won that last time out at Mid-Ohio show, number 14 Lexus with Kyle Marcelli.
Slight mistake by Catherine Legg going into turn 1 this lap, so this one's not going to be quick for Catherine Legg, who's dropped down into third position as Bauman's now up. But nobody's still under 90 seconds, Jeremy, and we know they can do that. Maybe a little bit warmer this afternoon, not sure why that should be. Some of the track now in shade, of course, the way the sun is beginning to drop, and the trees, the very mature trees that are alongside the track.
And as you say that, we do get the first 1:30, and it is by Brian Sellers.
Wow.
1:29.827 for the youngster, originally from Ohio, a million miles away from here in Detroit, and he's put together a good lap there to go fastest. Purple in the middle sector for Dominic Baumann. He's responding to the best he can. He's got purple in sector 1, a bit slower than Sellers in sector 2. Wait for number 14 to come across the line. Justin Marks jumps up into 4th position, the second of the Meyer Shank Racing Acuras, and David Heinemeier Hansen in car number 15, who jumps up into 2nd place for Lexus. 1:30.1. Second and third now for Lexus.
They look good over the bumps, Jeremy, and that's so important here, getting the balance right. We were talking to people, to Rani in the break, and they and ESM have been working so hard on getting the car feeling comfortable and riding the bumps well, and that's where they found all of their time, people felt, in between the 2 sessions, and the Lexus just look really good. They almost look like there seem to be fewer bumps for the Lexus, and when you see a car that's doing that, you know that they're riding the bumps that we know are there. They're riding them very well.
Yeah, they are. That lap for Brian Sellers, 1:30.4, so no improvement on that lap. But what a great effort that was from David Heinemeier Hansen in car number 15. He's a silver-rated driver, kind of the AM, if you like, in the Pro-Am combination himself and Jack Hawksworth. But boy, that's a tremendous effort. And he's going quicker again on this lap. He's improved his first sector time, not quite in his second sector, but David Heinemeier Hansen, that's already 4 tenths quicker than he managed in a qualifying simulated run in the previous practice session earlier this afternoon. Brian Sellers, though, he goes purple in sector 1. He takes a couple of tenths and finds a couple of tenths extra on this lap, with less now than 2 minutes remaining. Brian Sellers leads the way for Lamborghini, car number 48. The Lexus, number 15 of David Heinemeier Hansen, and then number 40 of Dominic Baumann, second and third. Catherine Legg and Justin Marks, and the 2 Acuras, number 86 and 93, round out the top 5. And Ben Keating, also running well in the Mercedes, car number 33, in 6th position, just ahead of Cooper McNeil, led early on in the Ferrari, car number 63. Circle again there in sector 2 now for Brian Sellers. He's really putting it together right up against the wall on the exit of turn 11 now. Just 2 or 3 corners to go on this track. What can he put together?
Last minute and a little bit, he'll get this one and possibly one more. How much life is left in the Continental? This is a good lap. This is going to be mid-29s at worst if he's clean on this last, and he is. It's a 28! It's a 28.9! That is the fastest lap we've seen all weekend, the fastest lap we've ever seen for a GT Daytona, and Brian Sellers with Paul Miller Racing's Lamborghini Huracan in the form of his life. And he has been near perfect on that lap. Jeremy Shaw said, this looks like a good one. Jeremy, you were spot on.
Yeah, that was a great lap by Brian Sellers. He was thrilled with that one. He laid it down. He knew what he had to do, and he did on lap. We're inside 30 seconds to go now in this session. It's been clean and green all the way. A great lap by Brian Sellers. Catherine Legler jumps up into second place with a 129.3 and Caliber 86. And Ben Keating, also another good improvement there. Number 43, Mercedes, 5th position, 130.1. All those top 5 are underneath the old lap record set 1 year ago by Austin Eichenbach out for Stevenson Motorsports. Brian Sellers by 1.2 seconds. That's a great lap. It really is an excellent performance by Brian Sellers. But there's still a few other guys are out there as the checkered flag is out on the session, and a few other guys on pretty quick laps as well.
Yeah, checkered is out, but you're allowed to finish the lap that you're on. That will still count. Slow moving. 86 is on the infield. Catherine Legg in second place. No, she's just slowed right down on the far side of the circuit and has run through the... Did she run round the back of the... Maybe did that, get round the back of the fountain, not sure, but she's got a fast Mercedes behind that she'll have to be very careful of, and she pulls into the pit lane. So Catherine will be no better than second place, half a second down. Through comes the Mercedes, the 75 car, and doesn't improve. Kenny, a bull that was. Justin Marks has improved.
Yes, he did, up to 3rd position.
Pulls both the Lexus down.
Yes, he does. That is a surprise. Justin Marks, great run. Number 93 Acura, 29.717, 3rd fastest. 2 Lexus. They're still out on the track. I don't think they're improving their lap times this time around. David Heinemeier Hansen, he does actually, but not by enough to move him up. David Heinemeier Hansen, fractionally quicker than his previous best lap, but that all came in the 3rd sector for him, but not quite enough. It's going to be Brian Sellers who will have the pole position.
They are just changing the tyres, the marked tyres that Brian has done his fast run on, and then he will drive that number 48 up to Shea Adam. 12 minutes completed. Our first of 2 pole positions for the Chevrolet Sports Car Classic here on Belle Isle for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship has gone to Paul Miller Racing, the championship leaders of Sellers and Snow. The 2 drivers in that car this weekend, and they will start from the best possible position. Off come the slick tyres with which Brian has set that new lap record, new qualifying record, and the transport tyres going on, which look like the Continental wet weather tyres, not required so far. Let's hope not through the weekend.
The top 2 in the championship qualifying 1-2 here.
Good point.
The Raceway of Belle Isle, number 48 car ahead of
Catherine
number
86 here this weekend. She's gone faster again than she has gone. Brian Sellers, I mean, in terms of qualifying pace, that's a huge jump in time since this time last year that has been taken out of that. The GT Daytona cars have, Jeremy, just improved every single session, even in session, the second pre-practice session, which the prototypes didn't improve, the GTDs still did, and they've got quicker again in qualifying. Magic stuff as the guys, all the teams working very, very hard indeed to get the cars comfortable and working over the bumps. So
Sellers, Legg, Marks, Bowman, Hansen, Keating, McNeil, Shine. It's a good run for Michael Shine as well. Kenny Bull in 9th.
It is a good run
Christina
for Michael
Nielsen
Shine.
in 10th.
Yeah, good point.
Particularly as he took the right corner off that car. He was pretty down on himself when we saw him in the break.
He was, so that's a very good bounce back for Michael. And the lap time he turned was, well, only about a tenth slower than Wolf Hensel had managed in the last session as well, the previous session earlier on today. So good effort there by Michael. He's been qualifying in the 8th position, just ahead of Kenny Howell. That's a good, not a bad run by him. Christina Nielsen, that's perhaps the biggest surprise here, down in 10th position in number 58, Wright Motorsports Porsche. So the two Porsches there for Wright Motorsports in 8th and 10th. And Michael Shine making just his second start in the series, having made his debut last time out at Mid-Ohio. He's qualified ahead of Christina Nielsen.
And we can hear from the man who has just set the new qualifying record for here on Belle Isle. The fastest we've ever seen a GTD car go around this circuit. And it's the championship leader, Brian Sellers, with Shea Adam.
And Brian, that was quite a performance in itself. You've gotten the pole here at Belle Isle before. It was 2016. And live and learn, there were white marks on your mirrors when you got the pole in 16. There's no white marks on the car this time, though. Congrats.
There might be some gray marks somewhere. It was close a couple times. It's really good. I mean, we're really, really happy. We made a change after that second session, and it really brought the car to life, which, you know, to be honest, we sat in the lounge and kind of said, okay, this change isn't going to do a whole lot, maybe just makes it a little more comfortable, but it really made the car a lot more drivable. And to be honest, in that second session, like we were really, really worried. Madison did a great job in the second session, and I just had a really hard time getting to his pace. But it worked out this time. You know, it really helps when you get to roll out first. You get clean track. You get to build into it the way you want to build into it, not force any other deals. So I mean, you know, one check mark done. Now the big one left remains.
And what kind of an advantage is it having all the competition behind you, knowing you've got an Acura alongside, yes, but you've got a lot more powerful cars starting further back?
Yeah, I mean it's certainly better than the alternative. But you just never know here. It's, you know, like I always try and think not to get too far ahead of yourself, you know, and while I'm happy we're first instead of second, it's just, there's still a lot left. So really pleased with where we are now. I think we have a good race car. So now we see how the race unfolds. I'm excited. And, you know, Madison has finished off for us the last 2 years here and done a great job, and you know, hopefully I can give him the car in a good position like he always does for me.
Third career pole for Brian Sellers. They've all won street courses. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And third in 4 years for Paul Miller racing here on the streets of Belle Isle. They know how to get the job done around here. We have walked straight into the 12 minutes of prototype qualifying. Here's your qualifying drivers. Number 2, Nissan Ligier is Scott Sharp. Number 5, Cadillac Dallara, Joao Barbosa. The Acura Orica, Juan Montoya in the 6, and Helio Castro Neves in the 7. Renger van der Zande in the 10 Cadillac. Pico Durrani in the 22 Nissan. Eric Curran in the 31 Cadillac. That car in the wall in the last session. It's Sebastian Saavedra in the 52 Ligier, one of the global LMP2 cars. John Bennett in the 54 Colt Sport Orica global LMP2. Jonathan Bomarito in the 55 Master Team Yost prototype, and Tristan Nunez is his teammate in the 77. Robert Alon in the Orica number 85, the bright yellow JDC Motorsport car. Matt Murray in the number 90, the blue Sprint of Daytona Cadillac. Richard Goldberg in the 99, the red Orica with the Gainsco sponsorship on the side. Bit of a battle out on the circuit with only 9 minutes to go as the drivers are on their first flying lap. And it's the Cadillac number 10. Renger van der Zande, who was getting a little bit of pressure from Eric Curran, sitting in behind him. And Eric just dropped back a little bit. Follows Renger van der Zande, 2 Cadillacs, the glossy black car of Renger van der Zande over the bridge. Behind them, it's the Helio Castro Neves number 7 Acura, who's got them in his sights.
Sellers found half a second on that. Yeah, maybe mid to high to 21, I think is what it's going to take to get the pole here in prototype this afternoon.
Just a little bit of cloud cover has drifted across the late afternoon sun here, and that's because we've got quite a lot of this circuit which is fairly light coloured concrete. The track temperature will drop very, very quickly indeed, and that's good news for these prototypes as the track evolves and gets more rubber down. And remember, we've just had the GTDs pushing very, very hard, and they're on continental rubber as well, so it's a big advantage for the prototypes to go second in this qualifying session.
There's some rubber laid down, yes, and it is quite breezy out there as well, so that could be a factor in the couple of routes on the racetrack. It's going to be a challenge for these guys now. We're going to see times coming down quite significantly over the last few laps. It's now Alio Castronellis who leads that way with car number 7 on 23.2. Teammate Robert Montoya 23.9. So 2 Acuras at the front of the chase at the moment. But still 7 minutes remaining.
7 Acura, only one tail light showing at the moment. The left-hand tail light not working at all. I'm not even sure if it's on when he is braking. They've got the marker lights on the front. They are on, but not the full headlights in that very complicated looking front end on that car. 6.5 minutes to go. Yet to see what I would say is quote-unquote competitive time for these cars. But we've seen in the past, Jeremy, let's just remind everybody that these Continental tyres are very durable, and we've seen the prototype teams take their time with their drivers to bring the temperatures up. Oh, and somebody's been in the water hard. It's the 85 car, and there's a red flag. We've had 6 minutes and 11 seconds, and it's the 85 car that has been in the wall. Robert Alon, oh, his inexperience sometimes gets the better of him. It's turn 4, exit of turn 3, possibly into turn 4, but there's garbage on the track.
Just to make sure he's dragging the car around.
The teams will have to come to their pit boxes. They can't sit in the pit lane during qualifying. He's going to get the car back, but we've got a red flag. And he's...
what's the point?
7 and 77 have gone.
Driving.
7 and 77 have gone to pit out. This could be all she wrote, Jeremy. There's a lot of clean up to do.
No.
7 and 77 have gone straight to pit out. That's not allowed, so they will get a stop go. Robert, it is turn 4. Oh, he lost it on the way in and saved it, and the car snaps back round on him.
He kind of overcorrected the car there, and then was into the wall with both corners,
left-hand
side. So quite a lot of damage to that car, and still continuing to leave bits of debris all the way around the racetrack. This is, again, that's not heads-up driving from Robert Alon. They're really showing his inexperience. Although, having said the inexperience, I mean, he's still been racing for 4 or 5 years now, so he really should know better than I think.
His exuberance sometimes
exactly the word I was just going to use.
Gets the better of him. He tries very hard, never gives less than 100%. When you have a circuit like this, it's unfortunate that things. I mean, if that had been a quote-unquote normal circuit, Jeremy, you would slid off over the curb and you got away with that.
Your times are going to go
away. He's raced here before for several years.
Yeah.
So he knows what this track is all about. He knows what a challenge it is. Unfortunately, it's caused quite a bit of damage to the number 85 car.
Afternoon is over. He is in 4th position at the moment. The wheel rim is bent on the left front, left rear tooling's gone. Damage to the bodywork front and rear, left-hand side. And that's going to be a new nose, a new tail, new wing steers, and a couple of wheels on that car. Right-hand side, perfect. Take the picture. If you're going to sell the car tomorrow, right, pretty much perfect. It's a little bit of a break. Take it just from the right front 3/4, looked great.
Yeah, and unfortunately then, for the 2nd year in a row, looks like we're not going to get a complete qualifying session for the prototypes here.
Well, and certainly not for the number 7 Penske Acura and both of the Mazdas, because they will get an immediate drive-through penalty for not stopping at their pit box. We're down to the last 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, but we need a minimum of 10 minutes.
Well, they've reduced the session, so perhaps that reduces pro rata. If we don't get the requisite amount of green flag running, the front of the field will be set on championship points. that's the way it goes. And at the moment,
last year.
and that happened here last year. I've got the green flag with 3 minutes to go exactly, and there's one or two people who are caught napping, including the guys who are in the outside in the acceleration lane. So remember, 7, 77 and 55 all have a drive-through penalty for not stopping at their pit box. So they will not get another lap. So 7, current leader, provisional pole sitter, will not improve on the 1:23.2. 77, Tristan Nunes will not improve on his 1:24.0. 55, Jonathan Bomarito, 1:24.5. Those are the times that those three cars will get, because by the time they come in the pit lane and go back around, they will not get another flying lap. Shea Adam.
There was also a little bit of drama down here, John, because of course when cars are in the fast lane, cars in their pit boxes are not supposed to leave, so that could be an unsafe relief for both of the Action Express cars and the Wayne Taylor Racing car, because they all came out and blended with the cars in the fast lane.
Yeah, and jumped ahead of them, in fact, so that could be a problem for them as well.
Yeah, the reason for that is when the green flag went with 3 minutes to go in the session, a good lap around here is at 1:20s, so if you do the math, they're going to have time around here just to do one flying lap. That's all they will have. The second time around it will be the checkered flag.
Haven't seen those penalties called yet. Haven't seen those penalties called yet, and it needs to be done right now, so that they come in. Now they do come in. They have been called and they are in. So that may didn't show on our timing screen, but it's clearly been done on the radio. Two Action Express run cars, the Whelan car and the Mustang sampling car, together through turn 2 with 1 minute and 20 seconds as they went across the line. So this is it. Now, will they be called for a penalty for jumping out and passing those cars stationary in the pit lane?
John Barbosa there, he's pretty close there, Eric Cohen. I would have thought he wanted to try and leave himself a bit of space over his teammate car, try and get the clear lap. You're not going to get much of a draft around here, so that's not going to be a factor. So make sure you're not held up when you're going for your fast lap. It's now or never for all of these guys.
Pete Motorani has clear track in the 22, and we know people can turn it on virtually at will. He was extremely confident, looking forward to a big weekend. He's off to Le Mans overnight on the private plane to go and do the test on Sunday, and he's quick. Durrani, quickest of anybody in the first sector, and this could be a pole position for Tequila Patron ESA. Also quick, Montoya in the first sector as well. Let's see what his first time is. He's got some clear laps. Durrani threatening to jump from 6th to provisional pole. Elio Castro Neves, Tristan Nunes and Jonathan Bomarito, the three cars that were called for their issues, will not get a lap. But I tell you who will. The 31's gone through and the checkered flag isn't out. Here comes Pipo Durrani, passes us and goes across the line and goes to the pole, but it's only a 22.7.
He's on a quick lap too. He was only about a 10.
There's no checkered flag. There's no checkered flag. Not shown at the starter stand and not shown here either on the timing screen. So we have another 40 seconds to the curfew. IMSA clearly deciding to use it all. Very interesting here. So in fact it's just gone up to 2 minutes 38 seconds. So there's more time to go. Oh, there'll be controversy here. There'll be controversy here because the 777 and 55 shouldn't have got another lap. And if any of those cars are on pole position, I can see problems.
Yeah, it did. Montoya, I told you Montoya was on a good lap. It was just 0.045 seconds slower than Durrani. So Durrani still has the pole at the moment. 22.745, 22.790 for Pablo Montoya. Elio Castro Neves was on a good lap as well, but it's Durrani who's once again quickest in this first sector on this next lap.
It's got a little bit of traffic in front of us, unfortunately. Now the time's gone to 0 because it is 6 o'clock. So I don't know what's going on, but the checkered flag has come out. The checkered flag has come out. That's a good 40 seconds or so after we were expecting it. We'll try and get some confirmation on that in a moment. Through goes Durrani, 22.2, does improve slightly. Montoya still to come through. He's not going to be quicker on this lap. Castro Neves, 3rd position at the moment. He might get to 2nd. Can't see him taking 1st position. No, he doesn't. He comes through. Now, can Montoya find a bit of time? No, he's not going to make up that time. So Durrani is going to be on position here, unless Montoya finds a shortcut at about 3/4 of a second. Oh, really sporting driving by Durrani. On his slowing down lap, there were still people out there, and he made sure he stayed well out of the way. He's checking his mirrors. That is really, really sporting. He's done his job and he has captured pole position, and we don't have to have an inquest afterwards. So forget about when the checkered flag did or didn't come out, because the right man has got pole position. He put it on the line, and in fact, I think he's got the fastest 2 laps, Jeremy. The lap that was put in when the checkered flag should have come out would have been good enough. He actually improved it after that.
That's exactly right. Pablo Montoya went purple in sector 3 on his final lap.
And Helio Castro Neves, down the inside of Scott Sharp, absolutely nails the green and black car, and that might catch the attention of the stewards. Although in fairness, the Acuras have been fairly invisible for penalties of contact since they came into the series at Petit Le Mans last year. So we'll have to see whether that one has been seen in race control.
So Montoya did go purple on that final lap there, fastest of all in the 3rd and final sector by just a little bit over Pipo Derani, but he lost low in the 1st sector, lost about 3/10 of a second in the 1st sector, didn't improve. He did improve on that final lap now, sorry. Didn't show it initially, so he did improve.
22.9.
Yeah, 22.9 for Pablo Montoya. So it's Acura's 2nd and 3rd there. Montoya ahead of Castro Neves. 4th position, Joao Barbosa. Excellent 5th for Misha Goldberg in car number 99.
Taken a lap away from Montoya because the gap was 0.5 of a second, and now it's 7.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I wonder if they've gone back to the different times when they crossed the line. A little bit of a confusion at the end, but forget all about that. That doesn't matter. All that matters is that Pipo Derani is on pole position for the 2018 Chevrolet Sports Car Classic here at Belle Isle, and he deserved that. They worked the traffic the best, and of course they followed the rules. They did go to their pits when the red flag came out, when others didn't, and that frankly cost the 7, 77 and 55 a chance to go for pole position.
Yeah, and 2 Mazdas down in 8th and 10th positions.
They'll be spitting about that, because they've been fast here this weekend.
Yep, they have 23.9, the best for Tristan Nunez, and his best lap earlier in the day was quicker than that, 22.8 for one car, 22.9 for the other. So both of those 2 Mazdas, 22.6, I beg your pardon, for the number 55 car. That was Harry Tinknell driving that car earlier on. Jonathan Bomarito just turned a 24.5, not able to get within 2 seconds of that in that final sprint to the checkered flag.
0.3 of a second, Pipo Derani quicker than Montoya in second in the 1st sector. A 10th quicker than Castro Neves. He was a tad slower than Castro Neves in the 2nd sector, but 0.2 quicker than Montoya. Montoya the quickest in the 3rd sector, but only by fractions. And Helio Castro Neves, what, a 10th or so slower than both Derani and Montoya. That's how it's added up. So Derani quickest in the 1st sector, Montoya quickest in the 3rd sector, and Castro Neves in 3rd position, quickest in the 2nd sector. The Brazilian bombshell, Pipo Derani, gets congratulated by Johannes van Overbeek. Out come the earplugs, and Shea Adam has the Continental Tire Pit Lane report with the man who'll start on pole position for the Chevrolet Sports Car Classic tomorrow here on Belle Isle.
And Pipo is so excited, he wants to come over and celebrate with his entire crew who are up on the wall to congratulate him. What a performance that was. He got out of the car and just said, yes, because that's exactly what we expect from Pipo Derani. Pipo, what a lap. Were you expecting to get pole position when you started out today?
Yeah, you know, today has been a great day. It's my first time on track, and I love the circuit from the first time. And we had a car that was a little bit difficult in the first practice where, you know, the bumpy track didn't suit our car, but we worked hard at it, and my engineer did an amazing job. We managed to put a good lap at the end of FP2, which gave us a good idea of what could happen in qualifying, but, you know, with not many laps to do, it was tough with traffic and with the qualifying being a little bit shorter, but really, really happy. These guys deserve this.
This has been a hard track in the past, Belle Isle, for the entire ESM crew. Not one of you guys has a win here, which I find amazing. You gonna put that right tomorrow?
I really hope so. You know, that shows that we've been working really hard. The level of IMSA has been incredibly high, and to be able to put it on pole here against well-known teams, it's very rewarding. And we've been working really hard, and it's nice to see that the work has been paying off in terms of speed. And we're showing that we can go head-to-head with these guys. So hopefully tomorrow we have a clean race. Starting from pole definitely helps. We'll see.
Lucky number 22. Good luck.
Thank you.
22 on pole position for Pipo Durrani. And
I just got to hope, I hope that's going to stand. You know, with that controversy about the timing and the time limits and that sort of thing.
It didn't affect people.
No. It's just the timing of the session, the length of the session.
Yes,
and the fact that we're going back up and down there on how long it's actually going to be.
We did.
But in any case, hats off to Pipo Durrani. That was an excellent effort.
We had 6 minutes. What did I say? We had 6 minutes 30 to go when the red flag came out, and we had another 3 minutes after that. So that's 5 minutes 30 that we had, plus 3 minutes if you went to the original timing, and we had another 40 seconds or so after that. So that's getting on for 9 minutes, possibly over 9 minutes out of 12. I reckon that's fairly close.
Yeah,
I reckon that's fair. If it's, you know, if it's 9 out of 12 rather than 10 out of 15, that would be the same sort of proportions, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but
Two-thirds.
What does the rule book say? Doesn't say anything about 12-minute sessions, most likely. So we'll have to wait and see. Just a caveat. That was
it's a fair point.
I hope it doesn't come down to that. I really don't, because Pipo Durrani and that whole Tequila Petroni ESM team deserve this pole position.
Johannes van Overbeek and Pipo are 30 points off the lead in the championship, and they will lead the field round to the green flag on Saturday at the Chevrolet Sports Car Classic. You can see and hear it via IMSA TV and IMSA Radio if you're here in North America via our colleagues at Fox Sports. Thank you to Shea Adam, our Continental Tire pit lane reporter, and to Jeremy Shaw. That's it for Fast Friday here on the island. Beautiful Belle Isle will be the venue for the Chevrolet Sports Car Classic. We've got warm-up at 8 o'clock local time Eastern tomorrow morning, and then the whole of the race, live and uninterrupted, is here on RS2, IMSA Radio and IMSA TV. I'm John Hindhaugh. Have a great Friday night. Bye-bye from Belle Isle.